Kunja Vihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Shri Radha Murlidhara ki Jai Om Ajnanatirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagarna Raghunathan Vitamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Hare Krishna, good morning everyone. Thank you for being here today for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Both all the devotees online and devotees here in the temple. But pray for the blessings of all the devotees, especially Adi Purush Prabhu, senior devotees present here, and all other devotees. Today we'll be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 84, text 27. Just share my screen here, just a second. So the topic of today is how a great devotee, the spiritual master, is the embodiment of all the demigods, how all the demigods live in the body of a pure devotee, and how we can see our spiritual master with this kind of divine vision, especially. Today is also the Tirobhav or the disappearance day of my own spiritual master, Soniskaramakhanda Maharaj. So he disappeared two years ago on this very day. So we'll also speak, maybe if time allows, a little bit about his glory. So yes, we'll start with text 27. We'll read up to verse 29. Shri Shukovacha itya anugyapya dasharham dhritarashtram yudhishtiram rajarshe swashraman gantum munayo dadhire manaha. Shukadev Goswami said, having thus spoken, O wise king, the sages then took leave of Lord Dasharha, Dhritarashtra and Yudhishthir, and prepared to depart for their ashrams. So Krishna is described here as Dasharha, another name we hear very often. So that means he's the descendant of Maharaj Dasharha, who I don't know much about, but Krishna is coming from in the Yadu dynasty, and one of the great kings in that dynasty is Dasharha. And so Krishna is called Dasharha, or the descendant of Dasharha. So this is all this Shukadev Goswami speaking. All the sages present at Kurukshetra, they were all glorifying Krishna in all the previous verses in this chapter, most of the previous verses. And now they're ready to depart. They're taking leave of Lord Krishna, of Dhritarashtra and Yudhishthira, who are the main descendants of the Kuru dynasty, the main royalty present there, the Kurus. So this is Kurukshetra, so they have a special connection with that place as well. So they're taking leave and they're ready to depart. Tadvikshya tanupavrajya Vasudevo mahayashaha pranamya chopasangriha bhashedam suyantritaha. Seeing that they were about to leave, the renowned Vasudeva approached the sages. After bowing down to them and touching their feet, he spoke to them with carefully chosen words. So Vasudeva is like, wait, don't leave. I have something there's something on his mind, which we'll hear about now. Shri Vasudeva Vacha Namo Vasarvadevebhya Rishaya Shrotam Arhata Karmana Karma Nirharo Yathashanastadutchatam. And you can repeat after me. Shri Vasudeva Vacha. Shri Vasudeva said, Namaha, obeisances. Vaha, to you. Sarva, all. Devebhya, who comprise the demigods. Rishayaha, O sages. Shrotum arhata, please listen. Karmana, by material work. Karma, of previous work. Nirhara, the purging. Yatha, how. Syat, there may be. Naha, to us. Tat, that. Uchitam, please say. Sri Vasudeva said, obeisances to you, the residents of all the demigods. Please hear me, O sages. Kindly tell us how the reactions of one's work can be counteracted by further work. Here Vasudeva addresses addresses the sages as the residents of all the demigods. His statement is confirmed in the authoritative Shruti mantras, which declare, Yavatir vai devatasta Sarva Veda Vidi Brahmane Vasanti. Whatever demigods exist, all reside in a Brahmana who knows the Veda. I looked up this quote. This is from a scripture called the Taittiriya Aranyaka. It's one of the four Vedas. So whatever demigods exist, all reside in a Brahmana who knows the Vedas. So I thought this is an interesting theme in this verse, that the sages are called the residents of all the demigods. So that brought to mind another verse, actually a couple of verses, and one in particular, which describes the spiritual master. All these great sages are great spiritual masters, self-realized souls, who perfectly understood the conclusion of all the Vedas, which is Krishna. Vedaishta sarvair ahameya vedaha. So they understood Krishna is the very source of the Vedas, the goal of the Vedas, and the whole point of all the Vedic knowledge is to understand him. So there were two Brahmanas who were Veda Vidi. So it's described in this quote from the Shastra that all the demigods live in the body of a Brahmana who knows the conclusion of the Vedas, who knows the Vedas. So they have understood the complete conclusion, as we understood from all the previous verses, that Krishna is the absolute truth. So, and therefore they're spiritual masters. And those who have realized, those who know and have realized Krishna as the supreme truth, they are bona fide spiritual masters. So this next verse is from the 11th canto, chapter 70, text 27, describing the spiritual master. And it's a similar theme is there. Acharyam mam vijaniya navamanyeta karhichit namarcha buddhyasu yeta sarvadeva mayo guru. This is spoken by Lord Krishna himself to Uddhava. I think this is probably the verse you were just reading yesterday. Manohar just speaking about this yesterday, and he also said, "Hey, I just read about this." So this is probably the verse. One should know the Acharya as my very self, and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Sarva Deva Mayo Guruhu. So Sarva Deva Maya, that means he's full of all the demigods. All the demigods are residing in the Guru, and he represents all the demigods. So just a little poll here in the audience. What do you think that means? What's the explanation of that statement that the Guru is the representative of all the demigods, or all the demigods reside in a bona fide spiritual master, in a pure Vaishnava, those who have understood Krishna as the very essence of all the Vedas and realized him as such? Your voice is quite loud.
And people approach the demigods to obtain things. They see them as higher, and they submissively make offerings to them because they want something. But anything you can get them from all of them altogether is surpassed by what's available at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, pure devotional service to Krishna.
Right? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful realization. Adi Prabhu. Yes, the demigods, they give us everything we need materially. They give us the sunlight, moonlight, air, and so on. But the Guru gives us and whatever material boons you want to get, you can get from the demigods. But from the Guru, we get so much more. We get in that knowledge, which gives us eternal life, that even the demigods cannot give. Any other thoughts?
If you refer to the qualities, the good qualities of the demigods reside fully within the spiritual master and total.
Yes, yes, that's another. Manohar is saying like all the good qualities of the demigods, all divine qualities reside in the spiritual master. Yes, that's another verse. Actually, I'll get to in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are very wonderful thoughts. Yeah, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in that very verse where it's described that Yashasti Bhaktir Bhagavat Kinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samaste Suraha. In a person who is akinchana, whose bhakti is akinchana. What does akinchana mean? Anyone know? What's the meaning of akinchana?
It means nothing.
One who has no other shelter.
Yes, akinchana is without a person who kinchana means something, akinchana means nothing. So that person has nothing in the material world but Krishna. There's nothing of interest to that person but Krishna. And all the Acharya's glosses were this nishkama. There's no other desire but Krishna, to serve Krishna in this world. That's the so one whose bhakti is such, in that person, all the demigods dwell along with their good qualities. So then Vishwanath Chakravarti he explains this. He says they are sarva deva maya. They're full of the demigods, and he says that this means the sense of this is that tat sevaya eva sarva sevya seva. So by his service, by the service of the pure devotee, his or her service, the service of the spiritual master, especially the most preeminent pure Vaishnava in our lives, in the life of the devotee. Sarva sevya seva. Their service of sarva sevya, of all those worthy of service. All those worthy of service. So all the demigods, they're worthy of our service and honor. All our forefathers, they're worthy of our service and honor. All the great sages, they're worthy of our service and honor. So, in other words, by serving the spiritual master, by serving a pure devotee, all other service is immediately fulfilled. That's the unique quality of serving the spiritual master. That by serving the lotus feet of the spiritual master, all one's obligations, whatever service one needs to do, is fulfilled in serving the spiritual master. There's another wonderful verse, a very famous verse, which I thought of. It's from the 4th canto, chapter 31, text 14. And you may know this verse. Yatha taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tat skanda bhujopa shakha pranopaharachcha yatendriyanam tathaiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So simply by the spiritual master, who is the representative of Krishna, one can serve all demigods. They can all be totally and completely pleased with us, and nothing else needs to be done. So this is a very foundational principle in bhakti, in the faith, which lies at the root of our very devotional service. What is that faith? Shada Shabde Vishwas Kahi Sudrida Nishtai Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Simply by serving Krishna, all other karmas, all other duties are fulfilled. So within service to Krishna, everything else can be accomplished. And service to Krishna also, of course, we may have families and duties in this world, and we can do that also in service to Krishna. So it doesn't mean that we can necessarily neglect all our duties, but they're all done in service to Krishna as well. Yes, Ari Pushapu.
Parallel point. All these things, all these benefits are there by serving the spiritual master, and also only by the service of the spiritual master can we obtain pure devotional service. There's no other way to do it except by the lotus feet of our spiritual master. We're just listening to a class by Bhakti Prakash Maharaj last night when he was saying how essential it is to one must take shelter of a genuine spiritual master who has nothing to do with this material world, but is only engaged in devotional service to Krishna. Only in this way. It's the only way to obtain pure devotional service. And Buddha Bhavana Prabhu asked Prabhupada, do we have to specifically desire pure devotional service? Prabhupada said, yes. And then one of the devotees said, Prabhupada, we heard you're trying to make us, you want us to be Krishna conscious. And Prabhupada said, no. You heard that? We were like, wait a minute, you don't want us to be Krishna conscious? He said, I'm not asking you to be Krishna conscious, specifically my disciples. The Babaji on the bank of Radhakund chanting Hare Krishna for decades, day and night, he's being Krishna conscious. But if you want to be my disciple, I'm not asking you just to be Krishna conscious. I want you to give Krishna consciousness. Yes. No one is more dear to me. No one is more dear to please the spiritual minister more than if we give it to somebody else.
Thank you, Ari. So, yes, so we'll keep more comments, questions for after the class. Yes, so, and that's, so yeah, the spiritual master is a representative of Krishna, and all the demigods are included within Krishna. They're sometimes called bodily limbs of Krishna. And so it's such a wonderful thing that when the spiritual master appears in our life, things become so clear. What it means to serve Krishna, how to serve Krishna. The spiritual master teaches by his own example how to do that. And something which we could have not conceived of otherwise. How to dedicate all our life, all our activities, our everything to Krishna becomes something which becomes relevant to us, which becomes accessible to us, which becomes inspiring. That very ideal becomes inspiring to us just by observing the glory of the spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is radiant with transcendental qualities. That's the other point, how all the divine qualities of the spiritual master manifest, or all the divine qualities of Krishna, actually. What to speak of the demigods, they manifest in the spiritual master. Of course, not all qualities of Krishna. Krishna has some unique qualities, no jiva manifests, but many of the great qualities. And Srila Prabhupada explains in this commentary to this verse of that all good qualities become manifest, is that he quotes Krishnadas Kaviraj, who especially highlights 26 qualities, such as he's very kind to everyone. Through the spiritual master, being with the spiritual master, we experience the kindness of Krishna, the love of Krishna has for us. We can experience that kindness, that love through the spiritual master. He does not make anyone his enemy, second quality. Spiritual master has no enmity with anyone, sees everyone, even those who are inimical towards him or her, they also, he respects them as well. Of course, if someone is an enemy of Krishna and the devotees, then the spiritual master can become like a lion. We see that with Srila Prabhupada even. At some point, like someone trying to threaten like his Vaishnavi disciples who were dancing on stage, and he was there. Someone was, I think, trying to pull their sari. Prabhupada jumped from his Vyasasana and he took kartals, and he was like, he became like a lion. So he does not make anyone his enemy, but if he's, the devotee becomes upset when other devotees are being threatened or being insulted. And truthful, equal to everyone, and one can find no one can find any fault in him. Magnanimous, mild, always clean, without material possessions, works for everyone's benefit, very peaceful, always surrendered to Krishna, no material desires, very meek, steady, in control of the senses, does not eat more than required, is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy, offers respect to everyone, does not desire any respect for himself, very grave, merciful, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. That means silent means always speaking about Krishna. So Prabhupada mentions in this commentary, he mentions these qualities as divine qualities listed by Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, which manifest in the body of the Guru. And actually all the demigods reside in each and every living being, because the demigods actually control our senses. And so the demigods actually always reside with us. But the demigods really like to reside in the body of the pure devotee. They reside in there along with all good qualities. In other words, they relish through the senses of a pure devotee. They feel they are because they're also material. The demigods are also, they're not completely free. But by their association, this is Vishnu Chakravarti explaining this, by the association of a pure devotee, through their senses, they hear about Krishna. They can, all the senses of the pure devotee are engaged in Krishna's service. So the demigods also feel great joy. They just reside in everybody, but they feel great joy and bliss to reside in that body, and they feel purified. Because also they're also associating with that pure devotee, with all those divine qualities. So yes, what I was saying, it's a wonderful thing that such divine qualities can be seen, can be manifest before us in a personality. And that changes us, that touches us so deeply when we see someone who's so divinely inspired, divinely empowered, in whom Krishna really resides. And what to speak of the demigods, Krishna resides in their body. And we heard that earlier on, that in previous classes, that tirti kurvanti tirtani, they make, the pure devotees make an ordinary place into a place of pilgrimage. Why? Because Swanta Stena Gadabrita, Krishna resides personally in their hearts. So wherever they go, they make it a holy place. So Krishna resides in the hearts. What to speak of all the demigods? And so yeah, Krishna's divine qualities become manifest. And but even more than that, because the one quality we really need to understand Krishna is what? Of all those 26.
Humility.
No, there's actually one which is actually the most important.
Obedience.
It's actually surrender. Surrender to he's always surrendered to Krishna. actually from that, even if none of the other qualities are present, but if that quality is present, then all the other ones follow. Now, even Krishna may be present before us, but we may not be able to learn surrender to Krishna. And like Krishna appeared in this world and he said, surrender unto me, but nobody did it. That's why Krishna had to appear as Lord Chaitanya to teach everyone how to surrender. So our spiritual master in our lineage, especially representatives of Lord Chaitanya, showing that divine quality of surrender to Krishna, and by which we can actually really understand Krishna, really obtain Krishna. So, and yeah, that's such a great benefit from associating with a pure devotee who manifests, especially that divine quality. I want to read a little bit from a book of my spiritual master. It's called Forever Present. He got this book published just before his departure with kind of his final instructions to his disciples so that, they could take solace in his Vani, in his instructions after his departure. So I was thinking the other part of this verse. So Vasudev was first glorifying Krishna as, the sages as the residents of the demigods and their good qualities, as we have spoken about at length. And then he asked a question. Anyone remembers the question?
How can one counteract the reactions at work by continuation outward?
Yes. So this is the key topic of the Bhagavad Gita. And our spiritual master shows us how to do that. So I want to end this class with a small quote of His Holiness Kadambakanda Maharaj. We should be willing instruments for Krishna, and he will decide whatever we will be successful in. Sorry, I should read this again. We should be willing instruments for Krishna, and he will decide whether we will be successful in fulfilling a task. But it doesn't matter if we are not. Because the success is in the fact that we gave our everything for Krishna. That is what it is about, giving our everything to Krishna. So that's the success, really, of our action. The result, we don't care about so much about the result. We care about giving it our everything for Krishna. And this way, there's no material reaction. And thinking about my spiritual master today, we're just remembering that quality of his, among many other qualities, of giving it his everything he got, always. When he would lead kirtan, he would be all in, 200%, always, going fully in it. When he would take on a service, even you speak about, even if it's a very difficult task, it was like he would go into any task, the most difficult ones, the most life-threatening ones, the most uncomfortable ones, the ones you least want to do. He would go into it, and I could see, like, when he would receive the instruction from his own spiritual master, even he didn't like it, he would just switch. And it wasn't like, okay, I'll do it. No, he would go like all in full force with the idea, I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to give it my all and Krishna will help me. So he always had that very surrendered mood of just giving it his everything. And even until the last few days of his life. Because he was always about, like, I want to make a sacrifice. I want to make an offering to Krishna. Always like making that sacrifice. So at the last, even he couldn't sing anymore. He couldn't even audibly chant anymore because of just the disease, the cancer, and just the weakness of like having not eaten for weeks. He couldn't eat anymore. So he basically fasted for 3 weeks. So he became very weak. So his voice, he couldn't chant audibly anymore, but he would still chant, just having his beats and be in a lot of pain and but still, he said, like, I made a determination, I will chant till the very end. Even just his 16 rounds, like just making that offering to Krishna. Even Jayadvaita Maharaj, his guru, said at some point, Maharaj, there's no need for you to chant like this anymore. And he said, no, please don't give me that instruction. I wanna make this sacrifice to the very end, just give it my all, whatever strength I have. He wouldn't sleep anymore. He couldn't, no energy, but he would just sit there and just, in his mind at least, like chanting and sitting with the beats and absorbed, actually, despite all obstacles. So that was so inspiring to see. So yeah, thinking about that wonderful quality of giving it our all till the very end. And that's the real essence of all work, giving it everything to Krishna. So yes, thank you all so much for your kind attention. We'll have some time for questions and comments, reflections. Let's maybe start online, or anyone else in the... Yeah, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, beautiful class. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Yeah, really nice meditation. You quoted so many shastras and you ended very sweetly with the glories of His Holiness Kadam Kanan Maharaj. So I just wanted to go back to that point you mentioned, the verse in CC that defines faith. Shraddha Shabdhe Vishwasa Koi Sudrida Nishchay. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. So you mentioned, so in an outward sense, in an external sense, it could make us, give up the responsibilities that we have. You had mentioned you somehow took that point out from that verse to say that we should not neglect our duties. So can you explain that once more and perhaps elaborate on that? How do we understand that verse?
Yes. So quoting the verse again, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahi Sudrida Nishchay. Shraddha means the firm faith that Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Hai. By doing bhakti to Krishna, all one's activities are taken care of. Now, what's the first principle of bhakti, according to Rupa Goswami?
First principle of bhakti.
According to Rupa Goswami.
Anukulyasya sankalpa.
Anyabhilashita shunyam.
No, when he lists 64 angas of bhakti, what's the first one?
Chanting the holy names.
Adau Guru Padasraya. We have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Guru. So, how we apply this principle of giving our everything to Krishna, according to our qualification, our nature, that depends on the guidance of the Guru. The next principle is Shri Guru, Shri Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. In taking initiation of the spiritual master, to receive shiksha, to receive spiritual instruction. And the main instruction we receive from the Guru is how to do bhajan, how to perform devotional service. But the Guru further gives us shiksha, how we can situate ourselves properly in devotional service according to our nature. That guidance is also very essential. Sometimes devotees just want to take diksha and they think, oh, I'm initiated. But your diksha is useless if you just take diksha without taking proper shiksha. From either directly from your guru or your guru is not available, you have to find someone else to take that shiksha, that instruction from how to perform direct devotional service and how to situate yourself according to your nature, according to your circumstances, according to your qualifications, your adhikara, to perform bhakti nicely. So that is all included. So when we say Krishna Bhakti, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy, by Krishna Bhakti, it means taking shelter of the spiritual master, who then instructs us accordingly. Like Lord Chaitanya, he was the spiritual master also of so many of his associates. So, but he would instruct different people in different ways. Raghunath Das Goswami, you never get married. You live as a brahmachari in Jagannath Puri and in Vrindavan. Never get married. And others, he would say, you engage in worship of the deity and stay at home. One Brahmana wanted to follow him, wanted to leave his family and follow Lord Chaitanya. What did Lord Chaitanya says? No, stay here. Guru Krishna, what was the word? Amara Agyai Guru Hayatara Edesh. On my instruction, become a spiritual master and deliver the whole world. But stay here. But whoever you meet, talk to them about Krishna, and on my instruction, you become a spiritual master. So once Lord Chaitanya, Krishna himself, taking the role of Acharya, of a teacher, instructing every individual on a different basis, how they could do Krishna Bhakti, and in that way fulfill all other duties. So within Krishna Bhakti and surrender to Krishna under the guidance of the spiritual master, that encompasses all activities of our life. Our direct devotional service and all those activities which support how to situate ourselves so that we can perform our bhakti nicely. We have our swadharma, according to our eternal nature as a soul, but also according to our psychophysical situation. And an expert spiritual master will able to guide the disciple accordingly. Yes. My spiritual master used to say that what he tried to do as a spiritual master and a guide, to give people a vision in their life, how they can perform devotional service, how they can contribute according to their nature and so on. So that's very essential guidance. Yes, Venu Madhuri.
Hare Krishna. Just very quickly, because we only have a minute left, just first of all, echoing the praises for your wonderful class from Jagannath Gopal. Just excellent. But I wanted to ask, how do we distinguish what you were saying about I want to give Krishna my all, the I in that, like the ego in that, and maybe you know how your spiritual master demonstrated that it wasn't, you know, his desire, my desire. You know what I'm saying? That can be, if not performed correctly, yes, question mark, something that is sort of ego driven. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, well, like when we speak of ego is real, that false ego is real ego.
Mm-hmm.
Real ego is the nature of the pure souls. I want to give everything to Krishna. That's the very nature of ego, actually. Real ego. Desirelessness is a utopia. It's one can merge into the Brahman and be desireless there, which is extremely hard to do, because actually desire is also, it's one of the qualities of the pure soul, is that they have desire, but the desire is to serve Krishna. So bhakti is all about transforming desire from personal desire to just having intense desire, but to serve Krishna. So motivated by ego would be, I'm giving in my everything to Krishna so that I can be recognized for it, for example, or I can be the one who gives most to Krishna and I get better than everyone else. Like that can be like ego motivated, but so that's coming from the false ego, not the real ego. But the real ego is you're just intensely driven, intensely desiring, intensely greedy to serve Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Any other thoughts?
We must remark that talking about your spiritual master, you're looking especially purified and effulgent, isn't he? Look at him.
Yes,
Spiritual masters empowering. Look at Vasudev.
we see it.
Yes, we are very grateful for all the association we received and all the instructions received, and the lasting impression of pure devotional service we've received from just living with him, observing him. It's in a very natural way, very human way, being very much in self, but always giving it effortlessly, almost giving it everything, always. So yes, deeply grateful for his sangha and his guidance. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahman.
Thank you, Vasudev Prabhu. All glories to you, all glories to your Guru, all glories to the Guru Parampara. Okay. Are we without darshan? Let's just look at Jagannath Gopal Prabhu. He's a devotee. You can take darshan of him. Okay, Manohar Prabhu. Thank you.
Jai Shri Radha Prida Godipse Bhagwan ki. Shri Radha Muridhara Gaura Chanchana Sri Bhagavan Ke Srila Prabhupada Ke. Notice feet. Only way by achieving to enjoy devotion. Notice feet with your arm notice. Grace, grace, walking across the ocean of material suffering. Attachment to his lotus feet. Fills my heart with sensitive knowledge. He is my Lord, Lord of the earth. From him is sacrament emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The scene of this character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and our master. Also, please be merciful. Fame is spread all over the three worlds, and we take shelter. Shri Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna, welcome to the Afterglow. Preetu Maharaj, welcome to the Afterglow. Do you have any questions, Preetu? Yeah. Chai. This is where I want to be. I want to be childlike at heart. I want to be like Preetu Maharaj. If Preetu Maharaj comes to this class, why shouldn't I? Would anyone like to speak? Vijay Krishna, Prabhu? Okay. Jagannath Gopal. Jagannath Gopal, Prabhu, I have a question. I heard somewhere, it's a terrible way to start a sentence by I heard somewhere, but still, I heard somewhere that in the previous yugas, demigods had their own planets, and then demons had their own planets. And then in this day and age, demigods live on the same planet, not just on the same planet, but within the same person. So we have our demoniac tendencies and we have our kind of demigod tendencies. So the demigods who are residing within the body of a pure devotee. So what category are demons fall into? Are they in control of any elements? Are they the opposite of the demigods? Do demons reside within the body of an aspiring Vaishnava or Vaishnavi?
That's a good question. I've also heard that in the Satya Yuga, demons would be in different planets. In Treta Yuga, demons would be demigods and demons would be, or other virtuous and wise-filled people would be in the same planet and then same country in Dwapar Yuga, and then Kali Yuga, same person. So yeah, I've heard that. I guess in aspiring Vaishnavas, I mean, demoniac is a very strong word, I would say, but definitely Kali, who is a demoniac personality, he's trying to influence. He's trying to influence the residents of this planet in Kali Yuga to do immoral activities. And yes, that definitely, now it is up to the free will of the individual and all the previous samskaras that one has had, which will decide how much response we would give to such tendencies. So, but yeah, certain things are there, certain things that need to be worked on are surely there they are there in me. I can say that as an aspiring Vaishnava. I can surely 100%, 200% say that there are certain tendencies in me that I have to work on in order to go closer to Krishna. So yeah, that thing is there. And this also goes to the other point. The other day, this was one of the classes few weeks ago in the Afterglow. Someone asked a question like in Abrahamic religion there is Satan, right? Is there some parallel in Sanatan Dharma? So there actually, I wanted to say this, but I didn't. I was busy with getting ready and all that. So I've heard that the parallel with Satan in Sanatan Dharma in this day and age is Kali, because Kali is the one who is trying to entice. Maya is depends on our free will. If we choose Krishna, then that same Maya that acts as a debilitating force, that same Maya will push us towards Krishna, depending on our consciousness. But Kali is that personality to whom, Parikshit Maharaj said, "No, I'm going to punish you." But eventually he did not. But Kali is that personality uh, who tries to enforce his influence and make people do wrong things. And actually, Prabhupada's movement is a direct fight against Kali. And I've heard stories where, Prabhupada took over Kali's jurisdiction by coming to New York City and all that. So that is there. I mean that the certain tendencies are there, and then Kali makes those worse by enticing us. I don't know if that helps. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, the choices are there in front of us. One choice at a time, one right choice at a time, right? You can't become perfect overnight, like Adipusha Prabhu, for example. But we can do one step, one step in the right direction. Sundarananda Prabhu, we don't expect you to be perfect, but please, today, yeah, there he is. Please, one right choice today, okay? And report back tomorrow on your lower tendencies, if
Okay,
you have
Prabhu.
any left.
I will stop watching one news feed today on my phone.
It's not too bad. That's a minor demoniac tendencies. But see, the demoniac tendencies, they work in such a way that it always starts small. It always starts innocent. One thread. One, like we say, like one unoffered cookie. That's a start to something that can lead to something really, really hard to get out of. Right? Adipusha Prabhu, you have anything to say in line with Guru and Sadhu and
Well,
Shastra?
he asked a great question. He gave a perfect answer. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
We always have free will. We are marginal. Shastra and Guru tells us we are marginal. Even in the little children's cartoons, they show a little demon on one shoulder and an angel on the other. And we can choose, certainly to be influenced by devotional service or to be influenced by frivolous or degrading activity. His answer was perfect. We have free will. There is the option, and we always have a choice, and therefore go for it. Be very careful. Walking on a tightrope, one misstep is difficult, makes things difficult.
And what do we do after we misstep? After we go for something that's degrading, what do we do then? Do we beat ourselves up? Or do we just, go on?
What does the little toddler do when he's trying to walk? He tries to walk and then he stumbles, and then he tries to walk and then he stumbles, but he keeps going. Pretty soon he's skipping and running and dancing. Just get up, you know, get up one more time, then you fell down, and keep going.
That's right.
We can get morose and wallow in self-pity and lamentation, and like you say, beat yourself up. What's the use? This is not appropriate. I will not do that. And then go again. Soon, gradually, like you say, you become fixed in devotional service. You don't want to do anything else.
What if we just keep failing and then get desperate? I'm never going to overcome this.
That means you give up hope. When you, Vaisheshekha says, if we don't hear sufficiently from Scripture, if we don't fortify our intelligence, then we get swept away. So there's that analogy with the horses on the reins and the intelligence. The horses are pulling, but the intelligence is on the reins too, pulling the mind in the other direction. Good association helps us so much, and we become like who we associate with. If you put the iron in the fire, it becomes hot. Or if you don't put the iron in the fire, it does not become hot. So who do you look up to? Who do you serve? Who do you want? Who you're allowed to speak into your life? If we follow somebody who's second class, we become third class. And we get the, Prabhupada says, we get the quality of association we desire. I want to desire with people that are giving their life to Krishna. I want to become like them. I want to serve them. I want to follow them. I appreciate them. And Krishna sees that desire, and it's amazing how Krishna helps us. We can't do it alone, but Krishna can help us. He does want to help us. He can help us.
When I first met Adipusha Prabhu, I immediately plotted to become like him one day and quit my job. Took
Oh,
me 10 years.
Prabhupada. Whatever praise we get, just like did you see how beautiful Vasudev looked today? Did you
He
notice
was
that?
glowing.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was glowing. He was talking about his guru, and so then we offered a compliment, and he gave the credit to Guru, just like the devotees were praising Chedi Raj. And Chedi, you give such great classes, you lead such wonderful kirtan, you're doing so wonderful on Sankirtan, and he was going, "Give me, take it." And it was like, I was thinking, what is he doing? He's taking all this praise, and they said, "What can I tell you? My spiritual master is making me into a jewel." He accepted the praise and he gave it to Guru, you know. So, it's the grace of the spiritual masters available for us. And we don't reject praise. Somebody tries to give you a donation, the Mayavadis say, no, I cannot touch money. I cannot take it. Prabhupada said, I will take it like this and I will use it in Krishna's service. Lakshmi loves to run and jump in Krishna's arms.
Yeah, we can't become hopeless. Our guru took responsibility for us as a guru. And then how can we feel hopeless? That's sort of offensive to the guru. If he sees the spark within us, then we shouldn't give up on ourselves.
Keep going. Vaisheshekha
Yeah.
who says that all the time. Keep going. He said, what happens if you're the son of a rich man? What do you have to do in order to get the inheritance? Just
Hold on. Don't
keep
say
going.
it.
What?
So what do you do when you are? What's your duty when you're a son of a rich man? What's the only duty that you have? Hold
Just
it.
keep living.
Don't say it, Adi.
Oh,
Purusha Prabhu. Let's see who knows that story, please. Introverts headed by Amrita Kishori. Do you have an answer? What's the only thing the son of a rich man should do to get the inheritance? What is it? Continue family business? Not exactly. Nartamnita, not
Continue
exactly.
loving him.
Continue loving him to get the inheritance? That's
I don't know.
mixed. It's mixed, Amrita Kishori. Okay, how about Vijay Krishna? Vijay Krishna, are you following the discussion? You seem to be very scholarly, Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna. Okay, fine, Adi Pusha Prabhu. Jagannath Gopal Prabhu.
Accept what the Father is giving us.
But
Very close, very
I think
close.
I heard that.
You Googled it, Amrita Kishori?
No, I feel like I heard it somewhere.
Yeah. From Vaisheshika Prabhu. He tells this story all the time. He said the only
Stay
thing.
alive.
Stay alive, yes. Amrita Kishori, yes. Very simple. Stay alive. Stay spiritually alive. And socially dead if you're a brahmachari. It's a joke. Don't take it too far. Don't take it too far. Okay, we love you. We need you. Emily Thompson, please unmute yourself and say Hare Krishna.
Hello, good morning. Hare Krishna. Thank you for having me.
That was so beautiful. Thank you, Emily.